Hi, it's Logan Wells. We made a chicken yesterday and I told you with the leftovers I was going to show you how to make the most delicious chicken pot pie. Love this recipe and it's very easy. Pillsbury pie crusts. You don't have to make your own pie crust. If you want to go through all that you can, but for me, I got a busy life, lots of stuff going on. If any shortcuts I can take, I'll take them. And I love these pie crusts, even for making my apple pies, but it makes a great chicken pot pie as well. So you're going to need one pie crust. The rest of the chicken that was left over, I've taken the liberty to take all of that off of there, and we're going to chop this up into little bite-sized pieces. You need 3 stalks of celery, 2 carrots, and 3 medium small potatoes. We're going to cut those up into little teeny pieces. And, a bag of peas, half and half, or milk, a little flour. And this is the gravy drippings that we had left in the pan, which is kind of nice because we've already thickened it up a little bit with some flour and water, if you remember from the roast chicken video. So we're only going to need to add a little bit more to this to give it that nice rich gravy. And it's already got the onions and a lot of seasonings in it, so we save ourselves from having to add all of that too. All right, we're going to get started. Okay, so first, I'm going to take all the chicken you can off of that whole chicken there and just, take it off with your hands and just make sure that you don't get any of the gristly parts or any bones in there. Nobody wants to bite into that when they're eating their chicken pot pie. So first, just cut this into little bite-sized pieces. Okay, so I've chopped up this amount of chicken, and I think this is going to be more than enough for a pie. And since I have a whole breast left over, hubby is hungry before the gig, and he wants to make a sandwich with it. So just depends on how much chicken you had left over from the night before as to what you need. But I think I have about 1.5 cups to 2 cups worth of chicken pieces here. Okay, next you're going to chop up your carrots and the celery. Now I've already washed the celery, and I have peeled the carrots. And again, you could go ahead and chop these up manually, but I'm always looking for a good shortcut, and I have one of these handy dandy little food processors. I just love it. And I'm going to put these in there, and I'm not going to chop it extremely fine. You still want to be able to bite into it when you're eating it in the pan, but just a real quick pulse to about like that. There you go. That's about what you want. Like as if you were making stuffing. All right, we're going to add that to the gravy. Then we're going to do our carrots. Same thing. Always be careful of these blades. These suckers are sharp. One time I was, right after I first got this, and I was washing my hands and doing some dishes, and I brought the thing over, and man, I sliced my finger but good, and it was not a pretty sight. It reminded me of Julia Childs on SNL. First you take the chicken, cut it in pieces. Oh, I'm bleeding. No. All right, so I just cut these into chunks carefully. And then we take those, put them in that little food processor, and we're going to get those to about the same size. And it is a time saver. You're not having to chop those up crazy pieces. Look at that. Bada boom, bada bing. We'll put those in there. Give that a good stir. And I've just, when I took the chicken out of here in the refrigerator, this was all congealed. So I just heated it up, turned it on medium-high till it melted. And now we've got this at a simmer. All right, we're going to do our potatoes. Okay, now you're going to do your potatoes. And you're just going to take these and cut them into little squares because you want them to be able to cook. And you want to be able to, like, again, feel the bite of the potato, but you don't want too large of chunks, otherwise that's not going to cook well. So we'll do all 3 of these, and then show you where to go from there. All right. So we've got that in there. Now we're going to add our chicken and the potatoes. There you go. And we got a bag of peas. Now I'm only going to use about half of this bag. But I like the frozen peas rather than canned peas because canned peas are a little mushier. So this, once it bakes, is going to be just about right. So about half a bag. Tie those back up and put them in the freezer. Mix all that really good. And I'm going to be adding half and half. Now you can use milk on this part, but I prefer the half and half just because it makes it a little richer and creamier. All right, here we go. Okay, so I'm adding about a cup of half and half, and I'm going to bring that back up to bring this to a little bit of a boil. And at this time, I'm going to kind of check to see if that gravy needs a little thickening up, which I believe it is. Okay, it turns out that I added about almost 2 cups of cream. You'll just kind of be able to eyeball it. Once you've added it in there, you're going to see, you know, you want to have enough of a gravy in there that it's not going to be a dry pie. But I'm thinking that I might need to add just a little bit of a thickening agent. This is not quite there. So if you need to do that, you take about a 1/4 cup of water and add some flour, maybe about 2-3 tablespoons. Stir it up. You want to mix it up really, really, really good so you don't have any lumps. I think I might need just a little bit more. Don't want a paste, but it should still be a little liquidy, but you can tell it's adding some thickening, all right? Now, this is just starting to bubble here. This is bringing it to a boil. I'm going to slowly add that in there. Keep stirring. And I think that's going to get that filling to just the right consistency. And I also think that because I had so much chicken left over, that I might get 2 pies out of this. And I'll give one to the neighbor who's not feeling well. Instead of chicken soup, she'll get the chicken in a different way. And I'm going to season this up a little bit more too, because since I've added that much, you know, cream to this and so forth, it still has enough onion flavor, I believe, but I'm going to add some other seasonings. All right, so I'm going to add a little more parsley. Got some dried parsley. I'm not running out to the garden because it's only about 40 degrees out there today. And some garlic salt. That should not only add a little bit of salt, but also some garlic flavoring. A little bit of thyme. All right, sprinkle that all over. And a little bit of regular pepper. And I also have some garlic and pepper, so just a little bit of that. You know what, I'm going to do that just so in case it doesn't dump out. That happened to me one day. Oh, that, like that. All right, mix that up and we're going to be ready to put it into the pie crust. And that is thickening up quite nicely now. All right, before we start, we're going to heat our oven to 425. And let that preheat while we are preparing the pie. Okay, you're going to need a pie plate. And I always like to put a little bit of flour at the bottom so that it keeps that crust from getting really, really wet and soggy. And you're going to take your Pillsbury pie crust that you've let get to room temperature, kind of roll it out, and lay that right inside your pie plate. You can kind of stretch it a little bit as you need to make sure that you've got some that goes over the edge. Press that down into there. And now we're going to put our filling in. Okay, and you can just take your filling from in there. And you want to get this to just about even. Don't overfill it because then it may come seeping out of the edges and ruin the bottom of your stove. Okay, open up the other pie crust. And sometimes you can even actually take a rolling pin if you need to make this a little bit bigger, but my pie tin is not one of those huge deep dish ones, so I generally don't have to mess with this. And you're going to take the edges and fold it over. You'll see underneath there, so that you're going to crimp it, and it's going to keep that filling from coming out all over your stove and keep everything inside the pie where it belongs. All right, then you're going to put on your little edge, which I like to do just a very simple little crimp. You're just taking your 2 fingers and pushing with this finger in between all the way around, so it has a nice little scalloped edge. Boop, whoop. That one sort of wasn't holding it's not holding its own. All right, one more. That one kind of came out weird there. All right, and then I just kind of give it a little fluff, and then we're going to cut just a few little vents in there to let the steam escape. Boop, 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 boop. Ain't that pretty? Now I get out a baking pan, because just in case anything were to bubble over, it's better to catch it on here than in your oven. And we're going to put it in the oven. Okay, so we're putting those in the oven. Turns out I had enough to make 2 pies, and I've got these little pie crust rings that you can find at any store, like a Walmart, a Kmart, and you put that on there for the first 20 minutes. We're going to bake this for 20 minutes at 425, then remove those rings carefully with a hot pad, don't burn your hands, and then bake it for another 20 to 25 minutes until the rest of the pie is golden brown. Okay, we just took that out of the oven, and oh my God, it turned into a strawberry pie. Just kidding.